Hello students, in previous lecture we learned about the process of double fertilization, significance of double fertilization, development of endosperm and types of endosperms. Today we discuss about development of embryo, seed and fruit development, significance of seed and fruit formation, then seed dormancy, apomixis, parthenocarpy and polyembryony. We start first with the development of embryo. The process of development of zygote into an embryo is called as embryogenesis. The embryo is developed at the micropylar end of the embryo sac. The growth of embryo sac triggers only after certain amount of endosperm is formed. After fertilization, the embryonic development begins. The zygote divides to form two-cell proembryo. The larger cell toward the micropyle is called as basal or suspensor initial cell, and the smaller cell toward chalazal end is called as terminal or embryonal initial cell. The suspensor cell divides transversely in one plane to produce filamentous suspensor of 6 to 10 cells. The first cell of suspensor toward the micropylar end becomes swollen and function as a haustorium. Then the lowermost cell of suspensor is known as hypophysis. The suspensor helps in pushing the embryo inside the endosperm. Then the embryonal initial undergoes three successive mitotic division to produce or to form octant, that is 8 cell embryo. The planes of divisions are at right angle to each other. The lower tier of 4 cells of octant gives rise to hypocotyle and radical, whereas 4 cells of upper tier form the plumule and 1 or 2 cotyledons. The apophysis by further division gives rise to the part of radicle and the root cap. Subsequently, the cells in the upper tier of octant divide in several planes so as to become heart shape, which then form two lateral cotyledons and a terminal plumule. Further enlargement of hypocotyle and cotyledon result in curvature of embryo and it appears horseshoe shape. The embryo development is similar in both dicot and monocots up to the octant stage. The difference appears later on. In monocots embryo, single cotyledon occupies terminal position and plumule is lateral. The single celled shield-shaped cotyledon is called as scutellum. The protective sheet of plumule is called as coleoptile and that of radicle is called as coleorhiza. Finally, ovule is transformed into seeds and the ovary is converted into fruit. This diagram shows the stages of development of monocot embryo. So the development of embryo up to octant stage is similar in both dicot and monocot. Later on, a plumule and mass of cells that develop plumule and cotyledon in case of monocot, and finally scutellum is nothing but the cotyledon which is covered by a protective covering called as coleoptile, and radicle, this one is a radicle which is covered by a protective sheath or covering called as coleorhiza. This is the development of embryo in capsula, a typical dicot plant. You can see in the diagram a zygote or whose spore undergoes division gives rise a basal cell and a terminal cell. Then basal cell undergoes further division and produces or gives rise the suspensor, and the terminal cell undergoes mitotic division to give rise embryonal mass. In this diagram, this suspensor is pushed this embryonal mass inside the endosperm. This endosperm store large amount of food material and provide nutrition to the developing embryo. This is the latter stage of embryo in capsula. Here the embryo looks like a heart shape, therefore it is called as a heart shaped embryo. This embryonal mass, the cells of embryonal mass undergoes further division and gives rise cotyledons. In this way, these are the cotyledons. This is the hypophysis. This is radical, and here a root cap is located. This is a degenerating suspensor, and finally, inside the seed, embryo is embedded in this way. This is a pleumal. These are the cotyledon. Here it is a radical, and here a root cap is present. This is the entire structure of a typical mature embryo or typical seed that contain a mature embryo. Now see seed and fruit development. In flowering plants or angiosperm, the seed is the final product of sexual reproduction. It is often described as fertilized ovule. Seeds are formed inside the fruit. The seed typically consists of seed coat. The outer seed coat is called as testa, and the inner is called as tegmen, which is thin in nature. Then a seed contains cotyledons and an embryo axis. The cotyledons of the embryo are simple structure, generally thick and swollen due to storage of reserve food material. Mature seed may be either non-albuminous, which is also called as exalbuminous, or non-endospermic, or it may be albuminous, also called as a endospermic seed. Non-albuminous or non-endospermic seed have no residual endosperm as it completely utilized or consumed during embryo development. Common example of such type of or non-endospermic seed are pea, groundnut, etc. Albuminous or endospermic seeds retain a part of endosperm as it is not completely used of during embryo development. Common examples of albuminous or endospermic seeds are wheat, maize, barley, castor, etc. Occasionally, in some seeds such as black pepper and beet, remnant of nucellus are also persistent. This residual persistent nucellus is called as perisperm. After fertilization, the intubants transform into seed coat and the ovary begins to differentiate into the fruit, and ovary wall develops into pericarp. Pericarp is basically three layered, that is epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp, which is differentiated in the fleshy fruit like mango or coconut. This is the structure of a typical dicot seed. A seed consisting of a seed coat. The outer thick seed coat is called testa, and inner one is a thin called as a tegmen. This is a radical, which later on, after seed germination, radical gives rise the root system, This one is a hypocotyl and epicotyl. Then these are the two cotyledons that store large amount of food material inside. This reserve food material is utilized during the germination of seed. This is a typical structure of a monocot, a maize seed. This one is a endosperm, a seed coat and a fruit wall. Inner to that there is a alerome layer. Alerome layer is rich in proteinaceous material. Inner to that there is a endosperm that store reserve food material. Then coleoptile, which is protected by scutellum, and here a radicle, which is protected by a protective covering or sheath called as a coleorhiza. Now see the significance of seed and fruit formation. Fruits provide nourishment to the developing seed. Then fruits protect the seeds in immature condition. Seeds serve as important propagating organs of plant. Then seeds and fruits develop special devices for their dispersal and thus help in distribution of the species. Now see about the seed dormancy. Dormancy is nothing but a state of metabolic arrest that facilitates the survival of organisms during adverse climatic conditions. Structural or physiological adaptive mechanism for survival is called as dormancy. Mature and viable seeds will not germinate even in the presence of favorable conditions, and they are dispersed at different places during dormancy. Viable seeds germinate only after completion of the period of dormancy. Some examples of oldest mature seeds that have grown in viable seeds are given here. Lupinus articus that may viable up to 10,000 years. Another example is Phoenix dactylifera. The seeds of that plant may viable up to 2000 years. Some seeds are short-lived, for example, citrus. Now see the recurrent apomixis. In this type, the embryo sac generally develops either from an archosporial cell or from some other part of the nucellus. In diplospory, the embryo sac is derived from the diploid megaspore mother cell. For example, Taraxacum. In apospory, the nucellar cells gives rise to the apomictic embryo sac. The second type is non-recurrent apomixis. In this type, megaspore mother cell undergoes unusual meiotic division and a haploid embryo sac is formed. Here, the embryo arises either from the egg by parthenogenesis or from some other haploid cells of gametophyte through apogamy. Plants produced by this method are generally sterile one and they do not reproduce sexually. The example of non-recurrent apomixis is Nicotiana. The third type is adventive embryony. In this type, embryos may develop from somatic nucellus or integuments along with normal zygotic embryo. It is a common in mango, orange and lemon. It gives rise to a condition called as polyembryony. Genetically identical plants can be produced effectively and rapidly by apomixis. Now see the next phenomenon, parthenocarpy. The term parthenocarpy was first coined by Knoll in 1902. It is the condition in which fruit is developed without the process of fertilization. It occurs naturally in some varieties of pineapple, banana, and papaya. In these plants, it seems that the placental tissue in the unfertilized ovary produces auxin, that is indole acetic acid, which is responsible for enlargement of ovary into the fruit. The fruit resembles the normally produced fruit, but it is generally seedless. Now see about the polyembryony. Polyembryony is the development of more than one embryo inside the seed, and the condition this condition is regarded as polyembryony. It was first noticed by Leeuwenhoek in 1719 in the seeds of Citrus genus. It is the occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed which consequently result in the emergence of multiple seedlings. The additional embryos results from the differentiation and development of various material and zygotic tissue associated with the whole of seed. Polyembryony may be true or false depending upon whether many embryos arise in the same embryo sac or in different embryo sac in the same ovule. In adventive polyembryony, an embryo develops directly from the diploid cell of nucellus and integuments as in citrus. In cleavage polyembryony, zygote proembryony sometimes divides, cleaves into many parts or units. Each unit then develops into an embryo. Polyembryony increases the chances of survival of new plants. Nucellar adventive polyembryony is of great significance in the field of horticulture. Thank you.